I want to go ahead and get into my self-love topic tonight. It's called Ending Negative Self-Talk. So some of you may say, what is self-talk? Let's think about this for a minute. Let's start with your thoughts. What are our thoughts? Some would say our thoughts are voices inside of our heads, right? That the voices make up our thoughts. Those are conversations like, wow, Sarah just got promoted. She's only been working here less than a year. That's unbelievable. Well, good for her. These are just thoughts, and they're constantly going in your head, running through your mind all day. Just constant thoughts, right? Self-talk would be like yourself basically talking to yourself, right? Self-talk. More like your subconscious thoughts or beliefs showing up in a conversation with yourself. Like, Sarah got promoted. But you've been working here for over 2 years. Wonder what management sees in her that they don't see in you. This is me talking to me, right? So if you are anything like me, your self-talk would probably sound like this. You must be an absolute idiot. How did Sarah come here and get a promotion before you? You know why? Because you are dumb as they come. You can't cut it if someone handed you a butcher knife. What an idiot you are. This is how I used to talk to myself. For so long that it was just a normal thing. I never even paid it any attention. How bad I was talking down to my own self because it was so normal. So one day I was going through some self-discovery and trying to do some deep reflection. I was probably reading like one of my favorite self-help books, and there was a chapter that came up about how do you treat others? What do people say about you and how you treat them? So I thought about this. Untethered soul, I'm sure. So I thought about this very deeply. I said, how do I treat others? And I started trying to think about, what do my friends say as to how I treat them? What does my family say? What does my children say? Well, my friends say that I treat them, very loving, very kind, very considerate. My children say, for the most part, we all have to be parents and have to be stern at times, but very, a loving mother, and my family as well. They say all these things. So it dawned on me, if all these people are saying that I'm kind and encouraging and I inspire them or motivate them, why are you so terrible to your own self? Why do you speak to yourself in such a way that you wouldn't even talk to your friends or family like this? If I had talked to my friends or my family the way that I was talking to myself, I wouldn't have any friends, and my family wouldn't want to be anywhere around me. So why was I being so terrible to myself? I had to really try to understand this. I had to understand why I felt they were worthy of certain treatment and kindness and respect, but I wasn't willing to give that to my own self. This is something that we have to unlearn. We have to unlearn these problematic mental habits, because most of the time, these thoughts aren't even true. They're just something that we randomly have in our self-conscious of ways that we feel about ourselves, but we have to unlearn them. I wasn't an idiot. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't all these things that I constantly told myself, but in a way, I just kept over and over telling myself that I was. It was very inaccurate, and it was very damaging to my self-esteem. But we have to recognize and unlearn these behaviors. There are several different types of negative self-talk. One is called personalizing. That means blaming yourself for everything. Even things that really are not your own fault, but yet you blame yourself for it. And that's for everything that's occurring, that's going on, you're blaming yourself. That's called personalizing. Another one is called magnifying. Magnifying is focusing only on the negative aspects of a situation. So instead of you seeing anything as positive, everything was terrible. Everything was horrible. Nothing came out right. When actually actually that probably is not true. Certain things within that situation probably was okay, probably did turn out right, but you basically magnified it and said everything went wrong. I did a horrible job, instead of seeing all of the things that you did right. Another aspect of negative self-talk is catastrophizing. That means expecting the worst. You know, you went into a situation and you thought the worst was going to happen. It's going to be such a catastrophe. It's going to be horrible. I just know this is negative self-talk because you're setting yourself up for failure. Another negative aspect of negative self-talk is polarizing. You only see the world in the extreme cases as either black or white, good or bad. You don't see anything in between. And guess what? There's so much in between. And so if you really start to focus on things, you may come to understand there's not a black or white or a good or bad. It's a lot of little things there in between that you can learn from, that you can grow from, that you can always say, you know what? The entire situation may not have worked out, but these little things within that situation did work out, and I'm going to take from that, and I'm going to learn from the things that didn't work out for next time. So what I do on a daily basis, and I'm just giving you some ideas here on how to dispel negative self-talk. So let's turn it around, people. Let's not focus on the negative self-talk, but let's talk about how can we get to the bottom of negative self-talk and turn it around to a positive. What do we want to do, guys?
Turn it around.
Turn it
Crew,
around.
where you at, crew? Where you at, crew? We want to turn it around to a positive. So the first thing to do is identify negative situations that already have affected you in a way that is not healthy for your mental state, and try to avoid putting yourself in those situations. So if something has happened already and it's just a negative environment and you were not, it was just not a good environment for you, try to avoid those situations. I mean, you would think that's a no-brainer. Like, why would you just want to go into another situation like that? But a lot of people don't understand, wait a minute, I have a choice right now to not subject myself to that. So I'm going to, respectfully decline to place myself in that situation. Another thing you can do is check in with your feelings and do some self-evaluation. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, have that talk within yourself and say, you know what, this makes me feel uncomfortable. I want to come to the conclusion that this is just not for me. So whatever it's making me feel, let me really try to dig deep and, take myself out of the situation or avoid it, or, just let me bring myself to a place where I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you can find the humor in the situation. Switch your thinking to something funny that happened. Read a funny book, or, don't just dwell in the negativity. If something happened, and you're so embarrassed, I was thinking about, okay, what if one day, you did something and you made a mistake, as we all do, right? Instead of sitting there and going, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God. No, let me put on something funny. Let me not dwell in this, because as time goes on, it's just gonna, if I dwell in it, it's just gonna be negative thinking. It's gonna lower my whole vibe. No, let me go laugh. Let me go have fun. Let me do something fun. Also, what you can do is you can surround yourself with positive people. I've done this, and my life is amazing because I surround myself with positive people. If someone's walking down the way, and they're a negative Nancy, I'm like, hey Nancy, gotta go. Good to see you, girl. Bye. I just don't want to be, brought down to a level of, negative thinking, or, I just don't want to be around that. So I'm quick to say, girl, it's so good to see you. Gotta go. And I keep myself in that positive vibration. So surround yourself with positive people. That's a great one. This last one is one of my favorites. It's the I am affirmations. This is how you can dispel negative self-talk. You can basically, every single day, at all times of the day, whenever you need to motivate yourself, you tell yourself, I am this. I am strong. I am worthy. I am enough. Even if you don't truly believe it at that time, you can constantly tell yourself these things, and you will start your brain and your mind going to start to want to be these things. You want to be strong. You want to be powerful. You want to be this person that you keep telling yourself you are. What Louise Hay says in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, she talks about mirror work. And I have my little mirror here because I want to show you guys. If you sit there in front of your mirror and give yourself eye contact, and you're in that mirror and you're saying, Reagan, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are feeling it with all of your body, every ounce of you, you are going to start feeling those I am affirmations. You tell yourself that you're that already. Practice this daily. Practice this daily. Louise Hay says, if you accept a limiting belief, then it will become a truth for you. So that's in her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And what that means is, if you constantly are putting yourself down and criticizing yourself, you're going to accept that. Well, I say, don't accept it. Don't accept it. Don't allow anyone to tell you that you're less than, and you don't tell yourself that you're less than. Don't accept that. You have to practice these things daily. If you find yourself, how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself can determine whether you win or lose, rise or fall, fail or succeed. It's all determined by you. It could truly be the key to your future. Most of the time, you are telling yourself negative thoughts that are not accurate. Take a step back, look at the entire picture from an objective point of view, and look at all the facts. Another quote by Louise Hay is, you have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. We think so often that we are helpless, but we are not. We always have the power of our minds. And then she goes on to say, claim and consciously use your power. And that's exactly what I did. I started to treat myself with kindness, and over time, I watched myself grow. And I raised my own vibration, and I started to fly. Whenever self-doubt or self-criticism started to overcome my thinking, I knew this wasn't of God. So I would say this Bible scripture to myself. It's 2 Timothy 1:7. This is your favorite scripture, right? For God does not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And that's very important to me. So anything that goes against any of that, it's not of God. And so if you're someone that has never noticed how you talk to yourself, I want you to consciously just take notice of how you're talking to yourself and how you are just treating yourself, because I'm telling you, it will change your life. This is my self-love message tonight. I want you just to be in tune with how you are with yourself, how you talk to yourself, and know that you determine your future. Thank you.